there were hundreds of people who wanted to help support Ramiro and his efforts. As I mentioned before, there was Kirkland and Ellis that did all of the pro bono legal work to set up the foundation. But there were also partners, associates, and support staff, hundreds of partners, associates, and support staff at Kirkland who provided the funding to get FEIH started. And one of the things, and I want to say this because I know many of the support staff are here tonight, we all know how expensive it is to live in this city. And people have to think about where their money is going to go. And for me, to think about the support staff writing meaningful checks to this organization to get it off the ground and get it started, that's not just writing checks, that's giving a piece of your heart. And so I want to thank all of you for that, because we would not be here, and FEIH would not be here without all of that support, so thank you. As I mentioned before, we had the board of directors, and the board of directors has been incredibly focused on FEIH, making sure everything is being done right, making sure Ramiro is being given the support to be the leader that we need, which he's completely being, and to help shape FEIH's future and where we're going. We have our junior committee, as I mentioned, and with the leadership of Jordan Elkin and Maggie McGuire, the junior committee is amazing. And I know everybody on the board would attest to this. There was no junior committee. They started it out of nothing. And now they have 20 members of this junior committee, 20 millennials that are rolling up their sleeves every day and helping out. And we're an all-volunteer organization. So what that means is they've helped with our marketing, our PR, our social media. They've raised funds through bar nights. They're setting up chapters of FEIH in schools across the country, college campuses across the country. But they've also done more than that. Mike, who I mentioned before, who's here and flew in, he's at Tufts Medical School. And he, on his own, decided we needed a health initiative for FEIH. And so now at our schools, it's not just building schools. We're actually teaching the kids proper hygiene so they don't get sick, so they know how to wash their hands and they know how to brush their teeth right. And that's all because of Mike's efforts and Mike's ingenuity. And so I think that that should be applauded. And then we have our executive committee here on the ground, Kathy. It should actually literally on the ground. And they work with our volunteers in Honduras, because we have a staff in Honduras. And this staff in Honduras, they scout out locations in poor communities where we should be building schools. They make sure that when the schools are being built, that they're being built on budget and on time. They make sure that the parents and the children and the rest of the community are invested in the schools, and they go back to make sure that the kids are there going to school and the parents are focused on maintaining the schools. So we have hundreds and hundreds of people, right? So Ramiro planted the seeds, and these hundreds of people have cared for them and cultivated them, and we now have this unbelievably organically grown organization that is making a difference.